The awesome RBC Avion credit card bonuses are back. Join us in celebrating Rewards Canada's 25th anniversary, and Air Transat will be launching their own loyalty program. All this and more on Rewards Canada's This Week in Rewards for January 23rd, 2026. If you're looking to make the most of your loyalty programs and credit card rewards, you've come to the right place. This is your weekly dose of loyalty, travel, and credit card happenings from Canada's original and leading points and miles resource, Rewards Canada. I'm your host, Patrick, and before we jump into credit cards and loyalty rewards, we have some news from Rewards Canada. So Rewards Canada will be turning 25 years old in the summer of 2026, but I couldn't wait to launch our anniversary celebrations until this summer. So they've actually already kicked off this month right here in January, and they're going to go through the entire year. So we've kicked it off with a contest with some amazing prizes from WestJet, Aspire Lounges, and Gig Sky. So there's WestJet points to be had, possibly WestJet Elite status, a year-long Aspire Lounge Pass for you and a guest to access all Aspire Lounges worldwide, including those here in Canada, and two $50 gift cards from Gig Sky so that you can get yourself some eSIMs for when you're traveling outside of Canada. You can find all the details on Rewards Canada's 25th anniversary celebrations at rewardscanada.ca/25. I'll put the link in the description below as well so that you can easily access that, and be sure to enter that contest because this first contest runs until January 31st, 2026, and there's going to be many more contests throughout the year and some other promotions to celebrate our 25th anniversary. I'm so excited about this. I hope you guys are too. And I have to give all of our readers, subscribers, viewers, listeners a big thank you for your support over the past 25 years. Whether you've been with us right from the start or just joining us now, thank you so much. Without your support, Rewards Canada would not be what it is today. All right, now we will jump into this week's news, and we'll start it off like always with credit cards. So the big news this week is the return of some increased welcome bonuses from RBC. Of course, the big ones are the up to 55,000 bonus points on the Avion Visa Infinite and Visa Platinum cards. So these are the ones I've talked about many times in our video. Seems like every few months, every time this offer comes up, 2-3 times a year, maybe even more. This is a good way to get a quick injection of points with a lot of value towards travel. This is a favorite of the points and miles community, and we're all happy that it's back. So these are big bonus offers, like I said, of up to 55,000 points on the Visa Infinite card and the Visa Platinum card in RBC's Avion portfolio. This is their first appearance in 2026, and this offer runs pretty much half the year almost until June 15th, 2026. So basically, these offers are famous for being some of the easiest welcome bonus offers to earn. This is how it's broken down. So when you apply for the card and approved, you're going to get 35,000 points on approval. Some data points show that people actually get the bonus into their account before they actually get the card. And it's not always the case, but some people do. So it is super easy to get 35,000 points, which is worth at least $350 towards travel. And then there's a super easy spend requirement. You only have to spend $5,000 on the card in the first 6 months. So less than $1,000 a month to get another 20,000 points. You'll have 55,000 points. So the big question is what can these points get you? So once you complete that spending, so you're gonna have to spend $5,000 to get the 55,000, you're gonna have 60,000 points in total, or maybe even more, depending if you bought some travel or if you did more spending than the $5,000. But at a minimum, you will have 60,000 points. So 60,000 points are good for 4 economy class flights within your own province or to a neighboring province or state. This is with the Avion Air redemption schedule. So here you can get a ticket of up to $350 in value before taxes and fees for only 15,000 Avion points. So times that by 4, you have 60,000. So you have 4 of those tickets. So a very valuable offer there. That's like $1,400 if you push that maximum ticket value. So that's how you maximize the Avion Rewards program, is by trying to push that maximum ticket value. But then of course, anything over $350, including taxes and fees, you're only redeeming at 100 points to $1. So you're getting a little bit less value for your points in that regard. The other redemption option with the Avion Air redemption schedule is 1 economy class ticket anywhere in North America. So you can fly for 35,000 points pretty much anywhere in Canada and US except for Alaska and Hawaii. So that 35,000 will get you, across Canada, across states. If you want to go from Vancouver to Orlando or something, you can do that for 35,000 points. Here, the maximum ticket price is $750. Then you can do 45,000 points will get you from Western Canada or to like Mexico, Hawaii, and Alaska, or Eastern Canada to Bermuda, Central America, Caribbean. So that's kind of the Eastern sun destinations from Eastern Canada, and then the Western sun destinations from Western Canada, although Alaska, I don't know if we'd really consider it a sun destination right now. But so you know that you can do that, 45,000 points there. And then those have a maximum ticket value of $900. Or then there's 55,000 points. You're still under that 60,000 for Eastern Canada to the Western sun destinations and Alaska, or from Western Canada to the Eastern sun destinations like Bermuda, Central America, and Caribbean. And those all have a maximum ticket price of $1,100. Again, taxes and fees are not included. Those you'll be redeeming at 100 points to $1, just paying with your credit card to pay for them. Of course, any base fare value above those amounts also get redeemed at 100 points to $1. The 60,000 points can also just be used as a $600 credit towards any travel you book through Avion Rewards. That's any travel that's not via the Avion Air redemption schedule. So that can be hotels, other flights, or if you need a car rental. So $600 there. It's also $600 worth of WestJet points because you can convert 1-to-1 to WestJet. So 60,000 RBC Avion Rewards points equals 60,000 WestJet points. Now, we are hoping that we'll see a WestJet transfer bonus like we used to many years ago from Avion to WestJet. We've seen 10%, 15%. Hopefully that happens now that WestJet has kind of all their ducks in a row with their new loyalty program. We'll just have to wait and see. So potentially you could get even more than 60,000 WestJet points if and when one of those transfer bonuses come into play. But don't quote me on actual one coming because I haven't heard anything. The 60,000 Avion points can also get you 2 economy class tickets between Toronto and Dublin. Yeah, so that's that famous reward that I just talked about in our last video, which I'll link to right here, and I'll link to down in the description. So you can get a round trip flight between Toronto and Dublin for 26,000 Avios. This is in economy class. So 26,000 Avios, that's for British Airways Club. You can convert from RBC to British Airways 1-to-1. So 26,000 Avion Rewards points gets you 26,000 Avios. You have that round trip ticket. Times that by 2 is 52,000. You still have 8,000 points left over too from converting from this 60,000 points you get from this welcome bonus. So big value there. Again, you know, and you get, there's a lot of other Avios redemptions as well, but do note with that change to British Airways Club with their redemption rates, you have to convert from RBC Avion to British Airways and then transfer from British Airways to Aer Lingus Air Club to get the 26,000 Avios. And of course, if you're in no rush, you wait for the 30% transfer bonus that we tend to see twice per year from RBC to BA. So then you're getting even more value or using less points to get those same rewards. So just a really good value there. And then the last good redemption option out of 60,000 Avion Rewards points is 1 economy class ticket between Vancouver and Hong Kong using the Cathay Pacific Cathay program. So you can convert those 1-to-1 as well from Avion Rewards to the Cathay program, and it only takes 54,000 Asia miles. Asia miles is the currency of the Cathay program. 54,000 gets you a round trip economy class ticket between Vancouver and Hong Kong. So not a bad deal there as well. So as you can see, a lot of value in that welcome bonus, a lot of different redemption options, just a very good welcome bonus. And as if you've watched our videos many times or you've read a lot of my articles, this is pretty much the biggest utility to the Avion cards is that welcome bonus. After you use up the welcome bonus, the cards are quite weak in terms of their earn rates. So you're going to be spending a lot more on these cards to get rewarded compared to something like the Amex Cobalt card, Scotiabank Gold American Express card, even the Scotiabank Passport Visa Infinite, the Aeroplan cards. All these other cards have higher earn rates, so you're getting to your rewards quicker, whereas the Avion Visa Infinite, Visa Platinum have low earn rates. Now, of course, you can do the combination of having an RBC Avion Visa Infinite card and the RBC ION Plus card, because the ION Plus card earns more points per dollar, up to 3 points per dollar. Now, their redemption rates on the ION Plus card version of the Avion Rewards isn't as good, but when you have one of the Avion cards, I know this is probably getting confusing for some of you who are new to this, but when you have an RBC Avion Visa Infinite or Platinum or the Infinite Privilege, you are Avion Elite. If you have an ION Plus card, you are an Avion Premium client. But when you have both cards, you can move your points back and forth. So you can go from Premium to Elite. So you can get all the excellent redemption options off of the Visa Infinite, Visa Platinum, Infinite Privilege, and get the excellent earn rates of the ION Plus card. So that's the combination and trick to maximizing the Avion Rewards program. And then the next increased welcome bonuses are still from RBC, and they have increased the bonuses on the aforementioned ION Plus card and also the ION card. So the welcome bonuses have been increased to 21,000 points on the ION Plus card and up to 11,000 points on the ION card. So the ION card is a no-fee card. We won't really touch upon that very much. I'll let you know its welcome bonus is 4,000 points as a welcome bonus, and then 7,000 points if you spend $500 in the first 3 months. The ION Plus card is the one to look for. That's a $48 annual fee card, so not very expensive to get 3 points per dollar, unlimited 3 points per dollar in their accelerated categories. That offers 21,000 points. It's broken down to 7,000 welcome points, and then 14,000 points when you spend $1,500 on the card within the first 6 months. So very easy spend, very easy bonus. Again, combine it with your Avion Infinites, and those 21,000 Avion points from the ION Plus card will go farther in your Avion Infinite or Avion Elite account. Sorry, I'm probably confusing some of you guys. Hopefully I'm not going too fast. If you have any questions about this, always leave me a comment below or send me an email via our contact on our page. I'm more than happy to help all you guys out to make sense of all of this, because I know it can be a lot. I should also note that the ION Plus card is also a very good earning card for WestJet, because the ION Plus card on its own has conversions to WestJet. It doesn't have the conversion to British Airways, doesn't have conversion to Cathay or American Airlines, but it does have WestJet. So that 3 points per dollar, or I should say up to 3 points per dollar you're earning, works out to up to 3 WestJet points per dollar. So a very good WestJet card as well. In fact, the ION Plus card is ranked as the 5th best hybrid card in Canada because of that option. All right, let's go into loyalty and travel news now. So we're going to start it off by introducing the Points Travel Festival Toronto 2026. So this is for all you points and miles enthusiasts who are looking to meet in person and learn more about loyalty programs and credit card rewards. If you're going to be in Toronto in mid-April, or if you can make your way to Toronto for mid-April, this is like April 17th and 18th, the Points Travel Festival, which was originally known as the Chicago Seminars, and every year it's been run in Chicago and in other cities as well, but it was renamed Points Travel Festival. Well, they're bringing it to Canada. So Stefan from Rapid Travel Chai, he's the kind of one of the originators of the Points Travel Festival, has teamed up with Anshul. You guys probably know Anshul from Points, Mile and Bling. He does a lot here in Canada for the Points and Miles community as well. Well, Anshul is bringing it to Toronto with Stefan, and yeah, it's going to be this April. I'm happy to announce that I will also be attending, and I will be speaking at the event. I do have one session that I will be running. I believe I will also be on maybe a panel or two. We're still waiting on the full schedule of everything that's going on. But yeah, so if you can come out there, be sure to say hi, come to our sessions. There's going to be a lot of speakers from a lot of different points and miles resources. There's a Canadian track and then like a global track. So there's going to be some like US and worldwide speakers on the global track, and then Canada is going to focus on the Canadian one. My session is a topic that I am quite passionate about, and I try educating so many people about, and that is how to properly use cents per point and cents per mile valuations. The exact session topic is confused, puzzled, and perplexed. Learn how to properly use CPP and CPM to compare rewards and programs, how to compare them properly. I've talked about it in my videos. We have a big feature on it because every week I do see all over the internet, whether it's other points and miles resources or on like places like Reddit, there aren't proper comparisons between programs. So if you want to attend, you can buy tickets. I'll put the link in the description below. If you purchase before January 31st, you're going to get the best price, which is $279. That's for the Saturday, the full event. There's a discounted amount there. And then there's also a $99 ticket to attend a Friday evening event. It's kind of more of like a cocktail party, meet and greet type thing, something like that. So the main event is just Saturday, but you can also add on a Friday if you like. Like I said, link will be in the description below where you can buy tickets. Now, I believe the event is limited to about 180 or so people. I'm not exactly sure. I think that's what I saw on the ticket page. So you may want to get your tickets sooner than later if you can commit to going out there in mid-April. And then next up in loyalty, we have news from Air Transat that they are launching their own loyalty program. They're partnering with Desjardins and Visa Canada to launch their own frequent flyer program. I don't know if we call it frequent flyer program, but a loyalty program. So they are moving into loyalty space. Like I mentioned, the leisure carrier is partnering with Desjardins and Visa Canada to bring this new program to Canadians, so they have another option to pick from for their travels. Well, primarily their flights, I guess, with Air Transat, but I'm assuming you'll also be able to book Air Transat vacation package. At least that's a guess. We don't know the whole details of the program yet, but I don't see why you would not be able to use Air Transat's loyalty points, miles, whatever currency you're going to call it, towards their packages. But I guess we'll just have to wait to see for that. Like I said, the details of the program are very minimal at this time. We don't know the name of the program. All we know is that Desjardins and Visa Canada are partners. So from that, we can assume, and I think from what the press release says, is there will be a credit card or credit cards, co-brand Air Transat credit card, where you'll be earning points and getting benefits and things like that in the program. But the rest of the program remains a mystery at this time. But based on that press release, they're saying they're going to offer an enriched experience at every stage of their journey. So does this mean, that program members or credit card holders are going to get like priority check-in, priority baggage, perhaps upgrades, free seat selection, things like that? There's so many different ways this can go. I'm assuming a lot of this will be happening, or maybe even discounts on a lot of that stuff. So we'll have to just wait and see. They've taken the same step as many loyalty programs in Canada now, where they announce things way ahead of time. They just like to get, tease people. Here's what's happening. Try and build up the hype. And hopefully when we do find out the details of the program, it does live up to the hype. So we're just going to wait and see at that time. Be sure to stay tuned here with Rewards Canada. As you know, we cover all loyalty programs and all loyalty news. We will have it to you as soon as we find out those details. But it does bring up some other questions too, like what about their partnership with Porter Airlines and VI Porter? As you may or may not know, Porter Airlines VI Porter members can redeem their points for select flights on Air Transat. They can earn on Air Transat as well. So hopefully there's going to be a reciprocal benefit there where Air Transat's new loyalty program members can earn and redeem on Porter Airlines flights. Of course, we don't know yet. I did speculate in my post, maybe it could be the complete opposite. If Air Transat's launching their own program, maybe they will dissolve their partnership. More than likely not, because every loyalty program needs partners to be successful these days. So I have a feeling it's going to be the better one, where Air Transat will partner with Porter. But again, we'll have to wait to see. In general though, the Air Transat program will be a lot like the Porter Airlines VI Porter program in that it will have limited utility to Canadians outside of Quebec and Ontario. Porter Airlines VI Porter, very good program for Porter Airlines flyers, mainly down east, or those who are flying cross country, like between Vancouver, Toronto, Calgary, Ottawa, places like that. But outside of that, not a lot of utility to the VI Porter program to Canadians. And the same thing with Air Transat, because Air Transat has very little coverage outside of Eastern Canada, namely, mostly Quebec. So this will be an excellent, I'm hoping it will be an excellent program for Quebec residents and even somewhat for Ontario as well. But outside of those two, the Air Transat program, like they said, I don't think will appeal too much to the rest of Canada, but we'll just have to wait to see what the program does offer. Now in loyalty, we're going to kind of go back to that RBC Avion bonus, even though this isn't Avion, but there's an award availability alert that we put up on the website, and that is some business class seats. Quite a few business class seats are open on Aer Lingus between Toronto and Dublin over the next few months, kind of January, February, March. A lot of availability there for 2 to 4 seats per flight. So if you're looking to go to Dublin or even beyond, check this out. So basically the best way to book this is with Avios, so British Airways, but you're going to convert from British Airways to Aer Lingus because you're going to require a higher amount of Avios if you book via British Airways. So you want to move it to British Airways from, say, RBC Avion or American Express, and then move it from British Airways to Aer Lingus to book these flights. When you do book with Aer Lingus, you're looking at 50,000 Avios each way, 100,000 round trip, and around $461 in total taxes and fees. So if you don't have enough Avios in your account, of course you can transfer, like I said, from American Express Membership Rewards or RBC Avion Rewards to British Airways Club. Now there's a second way to get this, and this is to book it with Alaska Airlines Atmos Rewards points. You book directly with Alaska Airlines. They only require 45,000 points each way, so 90,000 round trip, and only US $94 in taxes and fees. But the only issue here is Atmos Rewards points are a lot harder to obtain in Canada and could potentially be used for other more lucrative rewards. Not that these aren't lucrative. I'll tell you the value later on. This is actually really good, but it's just so hard to come by Atmos Rewards points unless you're playing the US credit card game and getting your Alaska Airlines points that way, or conversions. Now you can convert from some programs here in Canada to Alaska Airlines Atmos Rewards. If you're lucky like me and still have a Diners Club Club Rewards MasterCard, you can convert those points over to Alaska Airlines. But for most people, it's going to be from Marriott to Alaska Airlines. So something like Amex Membership Rewards to Marriott to Alaska. But that's going to take a lot more points, and you're actually going to get more value out of doing the Avios through British Airways and Aer Lingus, even though it's going to be more points and more dollars, and I'll explain why. I mean, so let's first look at the value of one of these redemptions. So the one I put up on the website, the round trip business class flight cost $4,323. Subtract the $461 in fees for Avios, and you're redeeming 100,000 Avios for $3,862 of ticket value. That's just over 3.86 cents per Avios. So that's a really good redemption value. If you're converting from the 5 times points on Amex Cobalt card, that's a 19.3% return on your spending. Which card in the market is going to give you 19% return on your spending? Only the Cobalt card if you get a higher redemption with some other airline program or even in the Avios program. I mean, we've pointed out times where you can get 30% returns, but this one's a 19% on 5 times Avios. Now, you can also convert from Avion, and of course, if you do that Ion Plus Avion combo, the 3 times points on your Avion and Ion Plus works out to 11.58% return. So excellent for that card, but still 8% shy of what the Cobalt card's getting you. But if they have the 30% transfer bonus going on, then you're getting a little closer. You're looking at about just over a 15% return on your spending of the Ion Plus and Avion cards. For the 3 times points, of course, any lower accelerated earn rates and your return goes down. But again, you're still getting more than most cards in Canada in either regard with those combinations. Now with Atmos Rewards, you subtract the $131 in fees and you're redeeming 90,000 Atmos Rewards points for $4,192 in ticket value. That works out to just over 4.65 cents per point. Excellent redemption option, especially if you're earning on American credit cards for this. But in terms of Canadian credit cards, like I said, you have to convert. For Diners Club, that works out to over 3 cents per point. I think it's 1 to 0.8 for Diners Club to Alaska. I'll have to double check that, but it's around there. So what is that? Yeah, probably close to just under a 4% return for Diners Club. But that Marriott option, it's not that good. You're looking at 2.7 to 3 cents. I mean, that's a great redemption in terms of comparing to other credit cards, but I'll give you a comparison here of what that takes. So to get that ticket through Atmos Rewards, say you're going to convert Marriott Bonvoy points, that's going to take 240,000 Marriott Bonvoy points. That's 200,000 American Express membership rewards points when they don't have the 30% transfer bonus. Those 200,000 membership rewards points will get you 2 of those business class tickets through Avios. So there's just something to consider there. So it's great that transfer option is there, going from like Amex to Marriott to Alaska. But when you have a direct redemption option to somebody like British Airways, that's usually the better choice because you're not losing value with each transfer. So just something to take into consideration with all these different options. And like I said earlier in the video, if a lot of this confuses you or if you have a lot of questions, just feel free to leave me a comment below with your questions or send me an email via our contact page. And I'll wrap up the loyalty news section just to let you know, stay tuned to Rewards Canada next week. Next week in the loyalty space in Canada, it will be crazy news coming out next week. Keep an eye out on our socials, on our website. We have all the coverage right here on Rewards Canada. And that takes us into Rewards Canada's Bonus Blast. This is where we take a look at some of the more significant bonus miles and points offers we've added to the website over the past week. And we'll start it off with Air Canada Aeroplan. So this is probably the biggest bonus for everybody this week, in that you can earn 50% bonus Aeroplan points on all Air Canada flights worldwide. Yes, they have a system-wide bonus. So this one you just need to book by January 31st. It's only valid on new bookings after January 4th. So if you booked before January 4th, you will not be eligible. So book by January 31st, and it's good for travel all year until the end of December 31st, 2026 for travel. So this is huge to get 50% bonus points. And what is crazier about this is there's no registration required. Air Canada is not requiring you to register, so anybody who books tickets by January 31st and flies but doesn't know about this offer and looks at their statement, they're going to get a little nice surprise of 50% extra Aeroplan points on their flight. So I found it very interesting that Air Canada does not require registration for this, because every loyalty program, including Air Canada, has always gone to registration for probably at least the last 10 or more years, because then you're not giving away points to everybody, which they will be with this one. So it's an excellent gift. So kudos Air Canada for not making it a registered offer where everybody's going to get it. So a lot of people, I'm sure, will be surprised by the extra points that they receive. And the only other bonus offer we're going to look at this week is a new system-wide global offer from Choice Privileges. So yeah, the hotel chain, Choice Hotels, Quality Inn, Clarion, those type of hotels. They're offering 3 times points on all stays in Canada and worldwide, except for the Nordic countries like Iceland, Lithuania, Latvia, Norway, a few others. They're not included, but everywhere else that Choice Privileges program operates, you can earn 3 times points on all your stays. All you have to do is register for the offer, and your stays until March 31st will earn those 3 times points. Now remember, Choice Privileges did go through some changes and the program was improved this year. They now have milestone rewards every 5 nights, faster paths to elite status, a new titanium status level. So if you're staying with Choice a lot, there's now a new level you can achieve. They have the soft landing elite status drop. And then later this year, they will be introducing family and friends point sharing. So great news from Choice Privileges. So if you're somebody who stays at their hotels, it's typically a lot of road warriors because they're in a lot of the small towns in Canada. Make sure you're registered for this offer so that you are earning those triple points. Remember to always check out the Rewards Canada bonus offer section before you book any travel, flights, hotels, car rentals, you name it. So many Canadians are leaving extra points on the table. They are leaving money behind by not taking advantage of these offers. And where else do you get a better summary of those bonus points offers? Nowhere other than Rewards Canada and, well, our global site, frequentflyerbonuses.com. It's our site as well. That's actually the best because we cover even more programs than Rewards Canada. Make sure you check them out, rewardscanada.ca/bonuses.html. Find all your bonus offers first before going to book any travel so that you are earning more miles, more points, and more rewards. Quick reminder that you will find links to all the topics we've covered in today's video in the description below. And if you like today's video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel if you don't do so yet, hit that notification bell so you're notified when we do post new videos, share the video with friends, family, coworkers, friends, anybody you think can benefit from our topics, and leave us a comment below, whether it's a question, a clarification, or a correction, or if you just want to say hi. We do our best to respond to all the comments. And that's all she wrote for this episode. Be sure to check out rewardscanada.ca and or our socials on a daily basis because there are a lot of things that do not make it into this video and some things don't even make it into our newsletter. Like this past week, there was a few Air Miles flash offers. But at the very least, you should be subscribing to that newsletter because every Friday, that is your summary of everything going on in the space of loyalty and credit cards in Canada. And then on Saturdays is our bonus bulletin. That is where we list all of the bonus miles and points offers we've added to the Rewards Canada website over the past week. Those are your ticket to earning more miles, more points, and more rewards. Thank you everybody for tuning in this week. Have yourselves a great weekend. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.